Are you an indie podcast or content creator looking to reach a wider audience? Look no further. Introducing Podcastic, the ultimate podcast network designed exclusively for indie creators like you. At Podcastic, we believe in the power of unique voices and fresh perspectives. We're here to amplify your passion and creativity, connecting you with a growing community of engaged listeners who crave original content. Podcastic is more than just a platform. It's a support system built for indie podcasters, offering a range of resources to help you succeed. From tailored promotional campaigns to professional production assistance, we're here to help you shine. Our intuitive platform makes it easy for you to be seen and heard. We do all the heavy lifting for you. You just show up and create. Plus, with our advanced analytics, you'll gain valuable insights into your audience's preferences, allowing you to refine your content and grow your fan base. Ignite your passion, expand your reach, and thrive with podcasting. Visit our website at www.podcasticlife.com to get started. Podcastic, the home for indie podcasts and content creators.
I pray that my love for you is bigger than what my parents have.
So you must be my daughter's new friend?
Candy, let me ask you a question.
Oh, so this him? This the man that comforts you more than me?
Mama, all men ain't like daddy.
That's not fair!
The content you're about to hear is a part of a paid programming segment. The views, opinions, and statements expressed belong solely to the sponsor and do not reflect those of Podcastic or its host. This segment is for informational and promotional purposes only and should not be considered as advice or endorsement. Listener discretion is advised.
Rise and grind, wanna show at 9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday, great conversation, guest appearances, cause you experience us on the cusp of blowing up. Boom. Wake up, wake up. Rise and grind, morning show.
All right, the world is back in order. The #1 rap reporter. What's up, though, y'all? Welcome to the Rising Ground. Is it raining outside?
No.
Oh, that was the collapse. Welcome to the Rising Ground. I want to show y'all we do this every Monday through Friday. Listen, I don't have no gas station chronicles,
Praise God.
but I do have one from last night.
Oh, dear.
You should never go to the gas station on Davidson and Illinois at 12:30 in the morning
Absolutely not.
to go buy ice cream.
Wait, go on Davidson and where?
Illinois.
Or Linwood and Davidson.
First, I would never be on Linwood. Well, and Davidson at 12 anything. I don't go there on 12 noon.
Right.
So, shut up.
I'm not in any of those neighborhoods.
Of course you're not, Brittany. Of course you're not. Two-parent household. Listen, so I would say
said
this.
me.
No, Brittany knows.
He says it all the time. That's why I just let him be foolish.
Shout out to women who was raised with their father in the household. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, that's real.
Yep, and I want a great Brittany. You're not going to get rid of it today. Hey, y'all, Brittany Chanel.
Hey. Good morning.
Good morning. Today we got the one and only Mr. B.Todd, the perfect gentleman, is in the building.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Top of the top.
And we got a guest, a special guest. She's not just a guest. She's not new to the show, but she's a newbie. She go by the name of Kandis with Kandis Photography.
Candace Page. How y'all doing?
Candace
How y'all
Page.
doing?
Candace Page.
So, Todd, how was your weekend?
This weekend was great. Man. I broke fast with the family. Went to a restaurant in Dearborn. It was cool. It was real cool.
What restaurant was it, if you remember?
I forgot. Honestly, I forgot the name of it.
But the food was good.
The food was pretty good. It was.
Y'all done?
No, it ain't over with.
I was about to, I know y'all can eat at night, right? When the sun go down?
Yup.
Is that
It's like
how it
6 to
goes?
6, right?
Well, the time actually changes. So it went from 6, and then when the time changed, now it's like 7. After 7:30, we eat.
Yeah, I thought it was when the sun go down.
Yeah.
That's when the sun go down, sweetie.
No, the sun still be up at like 7.
It depends on the day, quite honestly.
It really does. Like this,
It's
it has not been doing what it's supposed to do.
That's why he said 7:30. Pay attention.
I said 7.
Follow. Anyway,
Miles, don't make me.
I got to make the right cuts because Ty just cussed me out
I ain't cuss you out.
He see this. Miles, you know what? You be fucking up.
No, that ain't even what I said. Because I'm trying not to cuss.
Thank you. Because he is fasting. So I know he ain't had no potty mouth. He said you need to chill out.
Yeah.
Because she was saying something important. And then here you come.
Oh, the only reason why you remember because you were saying some important stuff.
But I never said the name.
When Brittany was saying. That's the only reason why you remember it. That's all.
That's not why I remember. I listened.
I like your attitude this morning.
I really don't care.
We like to give it up to our super producer and engineer on the one and two, bringing us to you none other than Chanie, who better get on that goddamn camera and say that right now.
There she goes.
Like, hey.
And look, she kept her flip the dip hair and everything.
Listen, shout out to all of the rising ground women who keep it in natural.
Yes.
We keep it in natural around here.
The claps need to be louder, please.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, and longer.
Thank you.
Because
ladies.
that is fire.
Thank you. The ladies keeping it natural around here.
Yeah, that is fire.
That's what we do.
Shout out to Lake. Lake was showing how she shake and move and grind. You remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it wasn't that shaking though. Shout out to Lake.
Yeah, shout out to Lake.
Shout out to Lake.
Glad you enjoyed your birthday.
She was trying to twerk. She was trying to twerk.
She was being grown?
Yeah.
She was being fast.
She wasn't really twerking anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like her
jeans shook.
in the same.
I wasn't trying to twerk though.
There's a different level of disrespect out here.
Lake was on her
dream shook.
No, she was on the pictures.
I saw the pictures.
So that's it.
Now we're twerking. And I told her.
Telly and Miles looked down like, that was the funniest thing ever.
She said, "Do you see it?" I said, "See what?"
If you gotta ask,
see
no.
what?
Right, you gotta ask.
Y'all was supposed to give moral support at that point.
Oh, we did.
I can be honest. See, that's the problem. You need to tell people the truth.
That is true. I say that all the time.
We gave support and gave the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
We did both.
Wrong with
That's
that.
why
Give me a little support first.
Oh yeah, no problem. Like if you trip, I'm gonna help assist and pick you up.
But I'm gonna
as
laugh.
I'm picking you up, I'm laughing.
I'm laughing.
So have you ever laughed at somebody you was picking up and half their leg was dangling because it was broke?
No,
And that's extreme, right?
I did it. I was playing football. My friend's leg was broke, and he was laughing too till he tried to stand on that boy.
Oh yeah, feel like static.
Yeah.
His leg
You
was
broke a
this
leg
way.
before?
An ankle.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
It feel like static.
It feel like static.
It just feel numb, like nothing.
Did
It's
you
like
cry?
when your leg goes to sleep.
I didn't feel it.
Oh, your adrenaline must have been pumping.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You just got done twerking, didn't you? Yeah.
You playing tennis or were you playing tennis?
Nah.
I was dancing.
See?
Oh, you got it right. Dang.
She was like,
What is it? Chanie, when they say go out there and break an ankle, they wasn't being for real.
Yeah.
Man, okay.
wow. That was the true definition of break a leg.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
See, that's why I don't dance.
Dare I ask
now I
what
don't.
dance you were doing?
Were you twerking? Was it the dance that I saw you doing?
You know what? Let's let her plead the fifth. Cause she
Nah, she don't want to talk about that. She was doing something crazy.
Let her ride.
See, that's why I don't dance. You gotta go. When you go, you just be cool.
I thought I was.
Get stared at all night. You know?
Yeah.
Get stared
Do a
at.
little
I
flirt.
had to say this in public, right? Hey, y'all, the website was down, right? And I had no idea. Till a guy called me. We was handling some business. He said, but your website not up. I'm like...
He said it just like that.
Yeah, but your website not up. And I was like,
As he repeats it twice. Go on.
Yeah.
So,
It's like just because you were wondering.
So, I went there, and the website hasn't been up since February the 27th. And I was pissed. So, hey, y'all, if y'all see, because y'all see, evidently y'all was going to it because we had 1,289 visits to the website that month. Somebody seen it and seen it wasn't on. Let us know.
Thank you.
Yeah, please let us know.
But can y'all also do us a favor? Go like and subscribe on our YouTube page.
Yes, please.
Subscribe to that, like it, share it, and we really appreciate it.
Please.
So let's go to today's topic. Today's topic is drum roll. What does the American dream look like for you? Oh
And
my
I also
God.
have one video that
Okay.
I do kind of want to throw in there just to kind of help.
Well, you want to go to video first?
Yeah,
I think that's why she said that.
Okay.
Because I know that I haven't been on
Brittany,
shit
I
yet,
would
but
kick your purse out this chair.
You want to fight?
them fighting words right
We'll be
there.
right back. Y'all watching the Let's Grab on the Show right here podcast.
Okay, so how would you describe the American dream if you had to explain it to somebody who had never heard the concept before?
The American dream is basically hustle and grind culture. It's the reason why you're worried more about how much money you're making versus how much time you spending with your damn kids on some real shit. There's pros and cons to it. you know, it's like that works too, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's like there's pros and cons to it. For example, it's like I know if I grind for 10 years right now, I can chill for 30 years later. But the American dream is definitely it's a false promise though, because capitalism is not going to allow for that many people to chase their bags at once. Somebody has to lose, and if you're a minority, it's probably going to be you. So I'm sorry if you're from another country watching this shit. My fault, gangster.
Sorry.
My word. You got it next time. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, it's like, I was going to say you should have been white, but I'm not going to, I know you can't put that up in there.
All right.
What was the last 2 seconds of his conversation? I know he was at least 21.
Well, at least I know we eat it.
Yeah, that is the hustle and grind.
No, the shirt said it all.
I didn't see that. I saw the hustle and grind, and that's basically
what it said?
American.
It is say Spellman. I did see that.
It says Spellman? Okay. So he had the wrong
Not
school.
where you eat at, though.
That's right.
Jesus.
Oh, I got
eat
it.
at.
I know where I got it.
It's like where you eat at.
So do you guys believe in American dream?
But him being at Spellman is incorrect.
Right.
I don't understand the people that anybody
Listen,
pick
y'all.
up
He
on
spent
that.
the night at that woman's house last night. He didn't have nothing else to wear. Let him rock that shirt proudly.
Well, the fact that they wear the same size is questionable.
That's a problem.
You understand what I'm
That's a little
saying?
shaky.
Yeah.
She might have some heavier situations up there. You know, maybe. Heavier situations.
One would hope, but I mean,
Well, I'm
let
just
us
hoping.
pray.
I don't know.
I mean, he had Spellman.
Father, is us your faithful
Well,
servants again.
yeah.
Do I believe in the American dream? Absolutely not.
No.
No.
It is a hustle and grind.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
So
is.
does the new way of the world make you feel like that, though, or like how it used to be? Like, do you think that the American dream is dead?
I don't believe nothing changed.
I believe the American dream lied to us.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It was go to school, go to college, get your education, you come out, you get married, you get your home, you have your 2 children, white picket fence, and your dog.
Yeah, in the backyard.
Now
you made it.
You go to college, you're in debt for God knows how long. Forget dating. We don't even know what that means anymore.
No
People aren't
social
even
life.
having children, and the dogs are now the kids.
They
Yes, yes.
You
that
understand
really
what I'm
summed it
saying?
up.
So now you're in debt. Now I'm in debt, and if I'm not grinding and if I'm not working, then I'm not doing anything in life. I'm being overworked. I don't have time for family. I don't have time for myself. The mental illness out here is to the extreme.
It is.
Yeah.
But then you go to these
Very
other places,
undiagnosed.
they barely
They
have
peaceful.
shoes on their feet,
They
and
Exactly.
peaceful.
they're cool.
Or they comfortable with no shoes. They just walking around barefoot
Yeah.
the whole time. They
Yeah.
good.
So have y'all ever
like they have
seen the movie Crazy Rich Asians?
No.
Okay,
I
it's
see
dope.
some of it.
I love the movie, but the mother basically sends her son, because they're from Singapore, so she sends her son to America to get his education. He falls in love with a New Yorker, American woman. So he brings her back to Singapore because he wants his mom to meet her. He's super rich. I'm talking billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? And the
So
mother,
like the Asian version of Coming to America.
kind of, sort of,
Okay.
but not really. But the mother doesn't want her because she's an American,
Right.
and she doesn't like her mentality.
Right.
She was like, she said, all you Americans care about is your happiness. You guys are selfish. You don't care about anything else but how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want her the girl to marry her son
Right.
because of that.
And she told her that, or she told the
No,
son
she
that?
told. No, she said it in the movie. She was
very
like, Americans, all y'all care about is your happiness. Like, it's a specific line that she's talked about Americans.
Yeah.
So-
And when she
Is
said
that
it,
a bad thing though? To care about your happiness?
How
Because
about
I just
this?
like if
I
you
feel
know
like-
who will.
I feel like happiness is a temporary emotion, just like everything
Exactly.
else. It's,
Yeah.
Okay.
it's like anger. It's like being sad. It's all temporary. You're not gonna be
you're
happy.
not going to be happy.
100% of the
Always.
time.
That's true.
But if you
So-
take it biblically, God did not say nothing about happiness.
Never.
He said something about joy.
Joy.
He
Yeah.
said something about peace. He
Yeah.
said something about love.
I picked
He
joy.
did say something about
Yeah.
abundance. He never said anything about your happiness.
Yeah.
So that's the pursuit of happiness. That's why everybody's hustling and grinding, because they're in the pursuit
Yeah.
of happiness. And guess what? Happiness does not exist.
Brittany, I think you better tell Sarah Jakes to move on over. You know.
Yeah, for real.
The reason why I'm pumped, because I was in prayer this morning, so I'm really pumped. So
Yeah.
if I'm speaking, it's not me. That's all I got to do. I get credit to the Holy Spirit. It's not me.
And sometimes we need to hear that. Though.
It's not
You
me.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Let
it's
them
not
use
me.
it.
I don't believe in the American dream, but if I did, I would believe more of a balance. I would believe more into pouring into my craft and being able to kick it with my family. You know what I'm saying? And it's not nobody lacking. I'm not missing nothing important, and money still being made. Like that's the American dream to me, if it was able to happen.
Right.
But other than that, I don't believe in it. I feel like everything is a myth or is all bull.
I had tested this about 2-3 years ago. I told people, listen, just give me 4 lines from the American Constitution. Just give me 4. Nobody was able to say it.
I'm sure.
Then I say, just give me 2 sentences from the Declaration of Independence. It's like we living our life off of things that's a falsehood, off rip, and we living off of laws and rules that was made in 1776.
Or what we heard. There's a lot of people going off of what they heard.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, because I hate to say this word, and people, it don't bear to no one who's sitting at this table, but we stupid. We believe anything somebody tell us.
Yeah.
D-Gun said that.
Yeah, I mean,
Who said that?
D-Gun. He said that. He said
D-Gun. Let me tell you something. That man is hilarious.
He said black. He was like, black people are stupid. That's what he said.
I mean,
But think about why. And we're talking about black people in America.
Yeah,
because if we go outside of America, baby, they are highly intelligent and highly spiritual.
I never met a Tyrone Jenkins that was valedictorian.
No, I haven't either.
Tyrone what?
Jenkins. It's because he Jenkins or Tyrone. Which one?
It's the Tyrone
Both
first.
of them is an oxymoron.
Right.
So
Erica done rooted for Tyrone everywhere. Not even a middle name, brother. You see a Tyrone, it's like, hey, you'll go that way.
So
I'm gonna be honest. I really wouldn't want to date nobody named Tyrone.
I ain't gonna lie.
It was a
Like
lady.
he old.
It was a lady that was 146 years old on Facebook.
Wow.
Right?
146.
146.
They was living like that in the Bible.
No, listen. She said,
What was she doing?
living, and that's her word. Her main words was, "I was living. I grow my own fruits and vegetables." She said, "I never ate out." You know what I mean? She said, "I never ate out." So she was like, she has her own. She been having her own garden forever. She said when her family, she outlived her children.
Wow.
You
But
feel me?
I personally believe that's how we were supposed to eat. I believe wholeheartly that we were supposed to be eating fruits and eating vegetables, because when we were, I don't know about you, but I just remember when I was younger, my great grandma had
garden.
She had a garden. She had peas back there. She had tomatoes. And my mom and my dad's house, it was a pear tree in the back. And then at where we work at, we actually have blackberries that grow on the tree in the back. And I don't see that anymore.
My granny had an apple tree. My parents they actually have their own garden. So my mom is very she's not necessarily allergic, but one of those things like it causes her to itch and break out and stuff like that with tomatoes. And so she used to eat stuff. And I'm like, yo, ma, not too much spaghetti, because you know how you is. My mom she's very fair skinned, and so they started growing their own garden over there. Like when COVID started, I wanted to say. So they have bell peppers that come. They have these big cucumbers that come. Now I grew up on Joy Road in Southfield. That's where this garden is. Okay. At my parents' house. And but she made her own tomatoes, and then they made like what do you call it, spaghetti one day. Did not break out. Whenever she eats tomatoes from the crib, never breaks out, never nothing. I mean, they just got first of all, it's too many tomatoes at the house. Okay, it's tomatoes everywhere. Like if nothing else grew over there, tomatoes. But they've grown. They grew a honeydew. And so I'm just amazed. Like every year to see them work together. They can't come together on nothing else, y'all. That garden. They come together. And even if they upset, can you pass me the hoe? Can you pass me the way? Can you know what I'm saying? Pissed. Pissed. But they like, we gonna grow this fruit or whatever. But when we get in the house, don't say nothing to me while we out here in this garden. We gonna do it love, and they've just really
again, purpose is everything.
I believe we were supposed to do that, honestly, and then trade amongst each other. I really believe that's how we were supposed to live.
And that's how I think that's how it was at one point before everything got shattered or whatnot.
Well, Miles just told me the other day that 8 Mile used to be a dirt road.
I never knew too much stuff on it now.
Once you hit 8 Mile on your bike, you be like, turn around.
But that's what they said, because when I was learning about the Black Bottom, they were saying what happened was that's how 94 and all of the freeways were created, because they wanted to destroy Black Bottom. But at some point, blacks were doing very well.
Blacks
they've always done well.
And shout out to people that don't know, Highland Park got so much rich information inside of it. There's another city in Alabama who mimicked Highland Park for the streets, the roads, everything, the architect. So they was trying to make another Highland Park, because at one particular time, while Detroit was building, Highland Park was already there. You feel me? Highland Park had their own water supply. So if you come down Davidson and you go 75, you see that water
Yeah.
That was their water system.
Wow.
And most people don't know. I would like to bring Des Cortez out here to tell the history of Highland Park.
because he's from HP.
Yeah. And Highland Park got a lot of great history. And the fact that we want our own history erased, we can't get mad that the others want it erased neither.
Right.
And that's one thing.
Wait, say that again.
The fact that we want our own history erased, we can't get mad by the others wanted it to be erased.
Oh,
either.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
True.
So shout out to New Orleans. The cities like New Orleans, they not letting their history die.
No, not at all.
They hanging out.
I love that city, man. That place is great.
And not Mardi Gras, y'all. So y'all don't. No, not Mardi
Because that's
Gras.
the only thing that people really associate New Orleans
No,
with.
it's
Mardi Gras.
deeper
It's
than
so
that.
rich down there.
It is.
Yeah,
That really be what no disrespect to New Orleans, but that'd be the first thing I think of is voodoo.
Okay, so look,
Black magic.
The last time I went there, I inquired about it with the Lyft driver, and she was like, "Yeah, somebody actually just unleashed a demon." Like not too long ago, and it was like the week that we were there. It was like, and they just released it. It was just walking around, didn't disturb nobody, but you can see it. It was very huge. You know what I'm saying? People were scared.
See, I believe that.
I was like, wow, that's crazy.
So I want to say this
I believe
too.
that.
I'm glad you brought that
In the
up.
gumbo. Don't leave the gumbo out.
Not a gumbo.
Not in the gumbo. But I would say this. So what we declare is voodoo, right?
It's culture and history.
It's culture and history behind the voodoo, and all voodoo is not bad.
Oh no, some voodoo helps heal people.
Right?
Yeah.
So voodoo, acupuncture. So it's crazy. Like as we are here in America, right? Voodoo is another form of spiritual acupuncture, right?
Yeah, I didn't say it was a bad thing.
No, I know you didn't.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying those are the things I really want to talk about on the show. Like voodoo, is it good or bad? Because most people don't get it. Everybody think that voodoo is bad, and it's not. It sounds spooky.
Yeah, witchcraft sounds spooky too, but that's not all bad.
So the church sometimes, if we had to talk about it, sometimes like I was at church the other day, and my pastor was just like, I don't like spooky church. Like you don't do this, you're going to hell. And it's like, yo, just know, like let's be cool out here.
There are some churches that do that.
I want to talk about that. What is spooky church?
I think here in America, they don't really go. Like they just kind of just read the letter,
right,
in the Bible, and they're not searching for the actual spirit that's in it. So it's a lot of people that don't really know about a lot of spiritual things here in America,
right.
So they don't understand it. So they're not seeking to understand. 1, 2, they just deem it as it's a demon. It's a demon when all power comes from God.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, God used the devil with Job.
Right.
He had to ask permission.
Oh, he was the devil with everybody.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, that's what people don't really understand, right? And the second you be like, oh, God would never do that. You don't know God.
And that's the thing. If people really realize everything that we go through, it has to be allowed by God. That's what people don't get. It has to be allowed by Him. Whether it's a struggle, whether it's pain, whether it's hurt, and whether it's joy, it all has to be allowed. The devil has to come to Him first and say, Can I do this? You see what I'm saying? Because he don't have no authority.
And you know why he's allowing it? Because it's something that he's trying to get to you.
Yep.
Or get out of you, right? That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to add something to you, or he's trying to take something out. But it all leads back to Him. Because if you didn't go through the pain, if you didn't go through the struggle, you wouldn't look for Him.
Very true.
And that's really what it is.
I want God to add to my Bank of America account.
It's there. You just got to get in alignment with what He probably asked you to do.
And be specific.
All right, y'all.
Definitely. Oh my God. Definitely
You have got to get into alignment.
Man, if you're not specific, it's gonna come any old kind of way.
Here's the thing: why do you want it? Because is it for your selfish need, or is it for what He wants you to do with it?
And who can you help? Everything that we do, God, is
It's
like,
for
who
the
can
next
you help?
person. It
You know
ain't
what
for
I'm
you.
saying? It's like, give me $1 million, and God's like, okay, what you gonna do with it? You see what I'm saying? You're gonna act the fool. You're gonna cut people off. You're gonna actually help my people. Like, and we gotta.
Are you gonna run through the money and be broke again?
Is it for your selfish gain? And do you have room to receive it?
Yes.
No, having room is
because
very
a lot
important.
of people don't have the capacity because
they're not ready. People ask for a lot of stuff they're not ready for, whether it be relationships, money, or anything else. People are just like, I want. It's like, are you in position?
No,
I want a husband. Are you in position?
My homie said he'll never hurt none of his enemies. He just wish $1 million on them because they wouldn't know what to do with it. They'll kill themselves.
They kill it. That's a good answer.
What were you about to say?
Brittany, God, I need one of them grapes.
I thought he was about to say something so profound.
God is signaling.
I thought he was about to double back on something she said. Like, let's go
I
back.
thought you was about to say something important. We talking about God, and you want to be foolish.
No, I'm being
I do
foolish.
feel like we need to eat fruit if they are from that store.
Right, definitely, because
Listen, what's the store name? Because they
It's
all
called-
look very healthy inside.
I'm gonna give everybody something.
That's what I'm saying. I'm leaving here with something.
this grocery store
Kid's
called
Daily, right?
Big. It's
No,
just big.
I go to Nino Savaggio.
Okay.
Oh
That's
yeah,
where I like
that's
to
a
buy
good.
my
That's a
fruit.
good
Yeah.
store.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes
You need
I'll
gas
go
money
to.
to
Sometimes
go
I'll go to Meyer. But the thing about fruit, you just got to know how to pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know
You
how
have
to pick
smell.
fruit.
That's true.
I use Brittany's technique
So
to
the
pick my
trill.
fruit.
Yeah.
I use her technique.
If
to
you
bring
can
the fruit.
smell it.
If I picked up the cantaloupe, if I can smell the cantaloupe, I put it back down. I like the Brittany bullshit. This thing, I picked up one. It's just.
Did you smell it?
It's
Yes,
scentless.
and I can smell it like right.
If
I
you
was
can
like,
smell it.
put it right
So
there.
if you
Yeah.
can smell the fruit before you even do anything with it, that's how you know the fruit is good.
Hey.
Yeah. Now watermelon, I have not mastered it yet.
I heard it's about a hardness. Like,
Yeah.
But and then they
Or
say with the
hollowness, I
yellow
think it
and things
is.
like that. So I haven't mastered the watermelon yet, but the other fruits I have definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a watermelon the other day, and I
mastered.
thought I was winning. I'm like, ooh, I'm about to finally be a big girl. Cut this watermelon up by myself. Okay, start buying these little, little trays of them.
No,
And
Brittany just grabbed one. I just
got there and it wasn't a
grabbed
seedless.
one. Thank
Yep, it was a seedless watermelon.
It was
I
seedless?
looked at this tag after the fact. I'm like, ooh, I didn't got.
You want to try
I was like,
I just want one grape, 1 or 2 grapes.
I was gonna give you two.
Heavy on the soup.
right.
Heavy on the soup,
I was gonna
please.
give you two, nothing else.
Well, I wasn't
Oh,
gonna.
that's cute. You got your little.
Your little smile, got your two
medley.
eyes and a
And
little
look-
nose. Not a
And
medley.
look, it's funny. Hey, gentlemen,
A little medley.
Yeah.
this is what a healthy prostate looks like.
And Rhea said it's hard to find seeded grapes.
Speaking
Oh.
of
I ain't
In
gonna
the
lie.
Eastern Market.
You have to go.
Speaking of which, me and somebody that used to actually work in the urology department, it's not enough me and going out to get your prostate checked. Please go get your prostate checked, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
one of the quickest and most, like, most silent killers that there is.
Yes,
Go get your prostate
it is
checked.
indeed.
Sitting up there on that floor having meals. Don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna lie. It's a little unique, and nobody wants to have the derriere, go through the back way check, but it's very,
They
very
can take your
important.
blood now,
They
from
can
what I
take
heard.
your blood.
Yeah,
They
can
can,
take-
and they can do your blood.
They
Yeah.
can find out so much stuff with your blood.
and,
It don't
and
make
to
no
prevent
sense.
and fellas, to prevent having prostate issues, you gotta have sex. You can't be sitting up playing video games all day, hanging out, drinking and smoking with your homeboys. You got to get it in.
If you
I'm
still
not
playing video games after
Yeah.
a certain age in life, sir.
Cut it
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Sir.
You see that little girl on Jennifer Hudson song?
Which one?
She buzzed out her mama's boyfriend. She said, and if you on the couch playing PlayStation all day, you need to get rid of him.
Oh wow.
So
How
here's
old was this girl?
here's my thing with
Out the
that.
moms and babes, baby.
I'm like, how old was she?
I don't mind it if everything else is like taken care. If that's like your little, because I like to read my
To
book.
wind down,
So
right.
that's how you wind down. But everything else in this house better be taken care of.
Oh yeah, the dishes better be washed.
Sleep.
Things of that nature. Yeah, it better
I
be
don't
clean.
mind that
Yeah.
as long as you.
I tell you the guy, it was his wind down. Like, he was a chef and he was there. They opened at like 4. He was there at like 9 most days, and then he worked a lot of days until like 10 at night sometimes, or like at least like 7, so a 12-hour shift. And so I used to have to, because I used to be like, playing games, like what are we doing here? Like, but he would come in and like, at a restaurant he's like sous chef, so it's like it's kind of frustrating. You calling orders all day. People got stuff wrong, you got to take it back and stuff like that. And so it took me a second to kind of sit back and say, like, that's his decompressor. And then when he was done, he get on there yelling a little bit, acting a little crazy for a little bit of time, and then it's like,
Come tell your
hey,
ass up.
sweetie. Cool again. Like, he give me a hug and kiss and all that and welcome me and all that stuff. He's like, hey, I'm about to just get on the game just for a second. I just need a moment. I'm like, all right, cool.
I can respect that.
And I go and I'm like, at that time, I think I was doing school or something online. And Buddy go there, go crazy on that game, or I might need to work. And he go crazy, and then he come back like, hey, sweetie, how are you? And I'm like, oh my
they be
goodness,
talking crazy
who
on
was
the
that?
game.
For real? I'm like, who was that guy that was just in the back? Because honey, like,
They be talking
do we need to
crazy.
get you tested?
Men don't like to talk. Like when they come home from work, they
Yeah.
really need that time in that
Yeah.
space. But it's crazy because I feel the same way. It's like I don't want to talk right now. Leave me alone.
Not coming in the door.
Like just give me 5
Please.
minutes,
So,
please.
so
Yeah.
Brittany, what does your American dream look like?
Well, it used to be go to school, come home, make a bunch of money, get married, have my kids. It ain't none of that no more. Honestly, it's really being able to be flexible with my life, right? So I want to be able to do the things that I love to do while making money doing it.
Okay.
Having time again for myself, having time for my family, and then of course putting in work, but not killing myself to do it. Still being at peace with it, like being able to be flexible with my life. That's my American dream.
Yeah, I sense that a lot of times people, American dreams was given to them. You know what I mean?
That's deep.
They was told what to do versus them finding themselves. Because I believe once you find yourself first, you have a more permanent vision on where you want to go.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
You don't. You don't.
I like that.
And that's what I say. Most of us don't know how to dream because we was giving other people dreams.
Yeah.
I talked to my mom about that the other day. So I want to say it might have been, was it last year or maybe year before last? I had a company that I would go do routes with. Like if I had like a short season with like photography, I'm like, we gonna make this money one way or another. And my mom said to me one day, she said, when did you, and for me, it wasn't really a problem. I loaded my packages, you know what I'm saying? I go deliver my packages or whatever. And she said, she's like, I don't know when it changed for you, when you decided what to do. I don't know. She said, she didn't say harsh, or she said something like rough work or something like that. I said, well, I get to make my own schedule. I was like, I get to make my own schedule. I get to decide when I go, when I leave, and things like that. I said, and the thing is, for people, I was like, I told her, I said, for people like you, that's scary in some cases because you don't know where your next money coming from. For me, I'm gonna go out there and get it regardless. I said, but it doesn't bother me. I was like, I get to drive, I get to see scenery, I get to see what I want my future to look like. You see what I'm saying? I was like, now you, for me, wanted something else, but what I want for me is something different. Like it was up to my parents, I would still be going to pharmacy school. Like it got to a point where I had to say to my parents, hey, listen, if you want it that bad, you go. Respectfully, because I've always wanted to be a photographer, but I had dream killers, and the first dream killers for me were my parents. You see what I'm saying? Like,
oh my God,
who lived the American dream, right?
Absolutely.
And so at that time, it was be a doctor, be a lawyer, be a police officer, a firefighter, a nurse, something that was just within those bounds of what they knew at the time. And so for me to be a photographer, they're like, oh, that's a hobby, right? And so I'll even say, even now, like with my father, it went from me at first doing photography once they told me they couldn't pay for me to go to pharmacy school anymore. It went from me being like, oh, what am I going to do? And, like me trying to prove to them, like, no, photography is important, to me being like, F what y'all think. I do this because I love it. To this day, I do it because I love it. And so now my father is like, I want to go take your pictures and sell them some way. And I've been trying to figure out a very respectful way to say it. How you want to sell a dream that you didn't believe in?
That's real. Top of the top, calling you on the air.
What's up, dog?
What up, dog?
Is that Calvin?
Yep.
Hey, man. First off, it's true art and photography, though. I just want that to be known for sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
But two, speaking of what Britt was saying, coming from our background, like Ty, know, like we go from anywhere from 10 to 14 on the nightly, and it's like when you come home, and I think that's why I ran into a lot of problems. I ran into mentally and physically because I didn't have a decompress. I was just straight gas. You know what I'm saying? No brakes, and then like. Whether you come home, some people come home, some people drink to decompress, some people smoke to decompress, some people play video games to decompress. No matter what age they might be, some people you gotta have some kind of like measure of decompression to after working so much. Especially if you work day in, day out.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a mental health thing. That's a
thank you for calling.
Thank you, man. We appreciate you calling, bro.
Thank you.
And as Calvin was saying, like smoking and drinking, right? I don't think those are decompression methods.
No, I think those are escape methods.
Or depression.
Depression, right?
Yeah.
So, I wanted to go back to what she had said about what your parents did.
Yeah.
So my uncle told me when I was younger, he said, find something that you love to do and never work a day in your life.
Right.
Yep.
And that's and it goes back to what you said too, right? By the time we're 7, we already know who we are, what we want to do. So you said you always known that you wanted to be a photographer.
I started photography at 7.
Yeah. So I knew at 7, like I wanted to be like in the arts.
Right.
So I don't know how I wanted to. I just know I liked entertaining and doing things like that.
Same.
And my parents, I was approached at 14 for modeling in the mall, and my mom said absolutely not.
Wow.
And my great aunt was like, why wouldn't you let her go? She said no, because this can be. I don't want that for her. I don't know anything about this, and blah 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 blah. She's going to school, and my mom knew when I was like 16. She knew like I love to entertain. I love acting. I was in talent shows. I played basketball. I was always like doing something.
Yeah.
And
I think
she came to me and she said, if you go to school, get your degree, then you can go ahead and pursue this.
Dope.
But I want you to have your education.
Because she wanted you to have something to fall back on.
That's what she wanted, and she's like, I just want that for you.
Yeah.
And I went and I did it, and it was, I knew I wanted to entertain. I just didn't know which way I wanted to do it. I just knew that was something new.
That's fire. Yeah, see, but I'm with you though, Kandis. Parents can be dream killers. My mom, I was raised by a single mother. She killed my dream. I knew at a very early age that I wanted to act. And so she kept trying to push me to go to college. I'm like, college ain't for me. I'm like, it's not that I don't like school. I really didn't like school, but it wasn't nothing for me to learn. Like, I knew that school wasn't for me while I was in there. I'm like, these classes are dumb. I understand all of this crap. I don't see how this is going to help me in the future. Math and English is really, or whatever other language I learned was going to be all I needed. All this other stuff is not going to matter. She like, you got to do it. I'm like, no, I don't have to do it. You didn't even finish doing it, so you can't really put that on me. I knew what I wanted to do though. I knew I wanted to act, and I was like, look. After high school, I want to go to LA. I want to go to Cali, and I want to go to acting school. She shot it down. Absolutely not.
Wow.
I said, oh, okay, bet. So I stayed here, and somehow I still managed to get into entertainment through music. And then that's kind of what it's like. Okay, this wasn't what I planned on doing, but it's somewhere within that realm. And here I am sitting here now, still in media. You know what I'm saying? It just came full circle, but. I knew exactly what I wanted to do when I was at an early age. Just like you, Brittany, I knew young. I'm like, I need to be in front of a camera.
We all know.
And I kind of knew the same thing. Yeah. But I liked what my mother told me later. My mother wasn't a highly educated woman, right? But she was from the streets because she had to raise her siblings and all that. Right. So I knew I like the wow factor. I like when I see people go, wow. And it's funny, I just seen my wow factor happen on TikTok yesterday. Not TikTok, Facebook. TikTok sucks.
Okay, say it right.
TikTok sucks. No, seriously.
All right, okay, it's okay. Say it right.
Y'all too young to remember, but y'all remember the thing, the viewfinder. The viewfinder, you stick a disc in and you go.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
What is that? It was a disc. Okay. Yeah, it was a disc.
You put them up to your eyes.
You put them up to your eyes. Yeah.
Remember those?
It was created by a black man, right?
Most stuff was. Or a woman. Or a woman. But, you know, I digress.
And so,
for now.
And so what happened was, that was my first wow factor. I was walking down Toys R Us aisle, right? And I saw the white kid like,
shout out to Toys R Us. Okay, we miss y'all.
He was like, ooh, wow.
I don't want to throw toys.
He was like, ooh, wow. And I was like, I looked at my mom. My mom said, PD, no. I was like, she was like, I said, man, I want to make something like that, right? So I used to always take stuff apart when I was little and put it back together. The first TV we had could never get Channel 2 again, but that's besides the point.
There he go. Always got slack something there.
But it came down to the fact when my mother, upon her deathbed, they had a family meeting, and my mama said, okay, baby, you know I'm not going to make it. Where do you want to stay at? And I told everybody that story. And so I decided to stay here. And my auntie was kind of livid. She's like, what are you going to do? I said, my music. She did like to say, music, rapping for real? You think that's a real job? I said, I don't want to have a job. You know what I mean? I said, I want to be an artist. I want to be a recording artist. She said, how long do you think that'll last? I said, as long as I go for it. And my mother looked at her, well, shit, he never told me that. Yeah. Like that. Like, you know, and so it made me, it triggered in my head that, all y'all believed in is what white folks ever told y'all.
There you go. And it's programming.
And they hated them though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Y'all support the very thing that y'all hate. I think we were talking about that at the coffee shop the other day. But it's like, y'all support the very thing that y'all hate. Funny story that you say that about music, Miles. So I went to school with Sean. Y'all know him as Big Sean. We literally sat in classes together. Sean sat right behind me. We rubbed shoulders, talk, trash and all that stuff. And so it's full circle every time I hear Sean talk about. I think I got Missy. I went to see him in Atlanta one time when I was down there. And so Sean was told the same thing by one of our teachers. But she was one of those teachers that believed that pretty much saying that you couldn't do something would push you right into doing the exact thing. And that's what she did. So when he got up there one day, he got I think she had us do like a poem of some kind, but I forgot how she had us tailor it. And she was like, so what you want to be? It was like, so you want to be a rapper? Oh, everybody doing that. Why you want to be a rapper or whatever, right? And so when he tells that story on stage, I lived that story with him. We actually graduated the same year, but I lived that story with him. Like, and our teacher being like, no, if you can't do it, go find something else to do. But
and shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson. I can't say this again. Please, God, don't let me. No, but I was saying that it due to that story was because teachers realized what was happening in our school system. They took away so much for black men not to progress in life with their hands.
That's why they took skills out of school. They took that stuff out of the school.
I did not know that they had auto mechanic shop in school.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they
Until
did.
I really had thought about it like that's what And we used to actually had in Detroit. I think we had 6 trade schools. You feel me? Yep. I mean, full-fledged schools.
They don't even have swimming anymore for some of the schools.
That's crazy.
That's a life necessity.
Yes, it is.
That's a life necessity. I still can't swim. But I'm just saying, it's because of my fear of drowning. I've almost drowned 3 times.
So I've almost drowned. So it gets like that.
Yeah, it threw me off because you play sports. So that's,
but it was my fear of drowning. So like every time I go under, it's like, okay, I got to go back because I feel like I'm about to die.
And for ladies,
I'm telling you, once you learn, you're gonna be fearless.
And I have children. I plan on learning with my kids. Because I'm putting them in at 6 months. They're going in.
Because I want to do that Michael Phelps though. Like I can swim under the water. I can survive. But that Michael Phelps swimming, that's what I want to do. Because I hear it tones the body.
I just want to know how to get to the other side.
I can float there.
That's all I need.
I can float.
I
just want to get to the other side. I just need to know to survive.
Like my best friend's girlfriend. I was the first class to come out of the new cast, and then we had swimming at the old. And she's like, I never knew we had a pool. I'm like, we all like, how, Sway? And how did you get out of not having swimming class?
Right.
We all had swimming class.
My final was in the deep end.
Yeah, my daughter had to hop into 13 feet at Buttsville, and I'm over here nervous. She's like, I'm nervous, and I'm trying to talk to her. I'm like, baby, you can do this in my head. I'm like, that's scary. It's all get out.
And my teacher made me do it again because I held my breath. I finally got the courage to jump in, and I held my breath.
I jumped in 14 feet.
I said,
why not? Let me hold this breath.
Exactly.
Listen, my greatest fear in school was none other than, can I get a drum roll? No, typing. Typing.
Typewriter.
Knock it off.
You got that one little finger.
I skipped typing. I'm like, I gotta get me out this morning. I thought typing was a girly thing.
Oh, gotcha.
No, it just takes skill.
Because most of the guys that was there were sweetbacks, right?
I've never heard that before.
What is a sweep? Never mind.
You know what I mean?
I never heard.
Top of the top caller, you on the air.
Greetings. Good morning, folks.
What up? What's going on?
Hey, Miles, I remember, look, I had Votech at Redford.
Yes,
and I had Woodshop I went to Cody and I had Woodshop over there. So they had those programs all the way up into the late. They just funded them. But see, one thing we did not know, a couple things about public school here in Detroit. They did have a ton of technical high schools where you could literally graduate and be a plumber with a license. You could literally graduate high school and be a nurse.
Yes.
You could literally graduate and be a carpenter.
Yes.
They had those. And then what happened was, in 1970, they had the busing thing happen, right? The federal government said, hey, y'all got to start busing these kids into these, these schools that are, as I would say, as certain parts of the west side and the east side was clearing out of white folks. School populations were dwindling, so they were busing kids that were in overpacked schools because they were still super racist and putting us over in these different schools. So what the school system did? they decided to defund those programs slowly and made zero tolerance to violence, because what was happening at schools at Cody, they were having riots. Parents, students, everybody was fighting literally every single day.
So it's really in the blood of people at Cody, because every time I meet a girl who went to Cody, her neck was scratched up.
That is not true. I went to Cody for a semester after getting out of cast for fighting. So
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, the fighting is in y'all DNA.
I got kicked out of cast for fighting though. I didn't fight while I was at Cody. Cody
You
was
don't
home
seem
to
like
me.
a fighter.
Oh, honey,
You seem like you
them be the ones.
That's how I like it though. See what I'm saying? 'Cause I want somebody to say like, she would never. You know, that Cat Williams. She would never. I've known her for 2 weeks.
Whole time.
Yeah,
Right.
Whole time. I'm that person that you won't call and I'm like, hey, where you at?
Yeah, I was gonna say never.
Regulators, mount up. You know, but you know, you gotta dress up cute.
I'm gonna ride with you though.
See, I would ride for
I'm
you.
gonna ride with you.
I'm coming.
I'm coming.
Go ahead. Go
But
ahead.
we gonna be
Dorian.
ladylike.
Yeah, I mean,
see, that's what they don't realize. They'll be like,
programs, and like you said, Miles, they gave black men, because they put a zero tolerance in on fighting, you could get expelled.
Yeah.
You know, I remember fighting in school. You know, that's all we did. You know, they put precincts in high schools.
They did.
Yeah, they put precincts.
They put precinct in high schools.
I mean, it was a systematic racist situation.
They was gearing us up for jail.
Yeah, that's why I didn't like metal detectors.
Because integration was meant to try to dump us into their society. Because if you ask somebody that lived in the 30s and the 40s, if you have a chance to meet an elderly person and ask them what their American dream was before the Civil Rights Movement, they'll tell you, hey, they were more agricultural. Hey, I just want a nice house, some farmland, grow my chickens and my fruits and my vegetables. That's what we know how to cook so well, because, you know, we were slaves and all of that extra stuff, and we wouldn't have to take the scraps and make it into something. But it all culminates with us being taught to be dumped into this society that didn't want us, and that was the funding and basically setting us up for failure. And so our American dream is really an American nightmare. And it's always been that. And before civil rights, before we were pushing for it, when we were forced to live in the South, because you got to realize now, we are only here in Detroit because our grandparents and great-grandparents had to leave the South, because there was no economic parity down there. There was no having your own. There were far and few, very far and few people that had their own businesses, their own things, because the white man would come and crush it.
Yeah, every time.
They'll come and crush it. We couldn't own firearms. It's good to see, brother. Look, it's good to see us at the range. It's good to see us getting armed and knowing the form militias, gun clubs, the things that we're trying to dump in society. There is no American dream when you can go out here and not get a job. And so now, with welfare, they created this chasm between black men and white men. So no more families, more self-indulgence, more self-pleasure. And we don't look at the American dream the way, say, some of our counterparts in America, the white folks who have been ahead of the race. Their grandparents graduated out of high school as a mechanic. He's got a whole mechanic shop. Matter of fact, he's got a car dealer. How do we catch up to that? We can't. It's impossible. It's so impossible. So it's no longer. There's no dream. It's an imagination.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. That's what it really, really comes down to. And so, if you can do your own thing, like Brittany said, hey, like her uncle said, hey, like I am an example of, if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not working. You may have to take a pay cut. You may not have all the riches, but you can take it further if you want to. And like you were saying earlier, Brittany, you can manifest your blessings if you're doing God's work.
Yep.
If you align to where He wants you to be at, doing the things that you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll leave y'all with.
We appreciate you calling in, bro.
And have a great day.
The wealth is stored up for the righteous. But no.
So he said something on there. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brittany.
No, I was just going to say, like back to what my uncle had said, find something that you love to do and never work a day in your life. Yeah, it isn't going to be work. And guess what? It is going to make money for you. Why? Because you're going to figure out how to make money for you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You said what?
I said, speaking on that fact, look, I'm going to wait on the other one that I was going to bring up, but that has to do with the school system, so don't let me forget. But,
okay.
In 2020, because we were talking about me working at the hospital earlier, in 2020, I actually decided to resign from my job. And I went full blown with photography. I haven't been back to my job yet, But it was the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? 2020 was when that pandemic was at the brink. And I made the most money I had ever made in photography.
I think the pandemic showed us that the American dream was really a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody had all this education and all this other, and it didn't help anyone.
Yeah.
That was the most money I made that year, and every year since then, the numbers have not changed. Like, God was just like, nope. Like, I resigned from my job. I decided to go full time. I started homeschooling. I opened my studio, which is downstairs, and made the most money I'd ever made. And since then, it just continues. You know what I'm saying?
Because you aligned.
Yep. You took that leap of faith.
When you were 7, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Went back to my first love. That's literally what happened. I told God, I said, God, they won't even pay for me to go to school anymore. I'm like, I work several jobs. I'm like, I'm paying a mortgage. Basically, I'm paying for my house. I got car insurance. You know, all this stuff.
You worried about all the stuff that he tell you to worry about.
Okay.
Just walk.
Well, see, no, I was just mentioning those things because I'm like, the audacity of these people, because what they said was I made too much money. You see what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm paying for all these things. How are they saying that like 20-something? I think I was like maybe 21 or 22. I make too much money. I ain't gonna lie. I was 21 making like $21 an hour. So, I mean, I guess I can't complain there. But they said I made too much money, but I had all that stuff to pay for. But yeah, he was just like, get back to your first love. And I'm like, what's my first love? I took a couple days like trying to figure it out. And when I was finally done, doing what I needed to do to figure it out, he was like, photography. I'm like, come on.
So this is crazy because me and Chanie was just having this conversation early this morning. And I was telling her sometimes what we have to do is we have to go back to the basics. Right? And it is so important for us to really just sit down with ourselves.
Yep.
And really sit with that inner man, because in the inner man, that's where all the answers are. And the reason why we can't hear the inner man is because there's so much noise around us with social media, music, and thoughts, and all these other things. Because even our thoughts come from God. That's how deep it is. Like, you don't even think for yourself if you think about it. You know what I mean? Like, they're either coming from him or they coming from the enemy.
I just read this book.
So which one are you listening to?
I just read this book that was basically saying what you just said. It's called the 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. And it was really good. And it was basically saying, you do need to cut off the noise so you can stay focused. You do need to get off the phone. You need to get closer to God. All things of that nature. And it was just saying, like, you need to find a way to get grounded so you can let that creativity flow.
Because that was meditation, right? Like, if you go back to the Bible, they always went somewhere to the mountains, or they went somewhere by water. They went somewhere and got quiet so that they could meditate. Yeah. The meditation was them being silent so that God can actually talk to them and say something to them. And sometimes it's a lot easier said than done.
A lot of people don't like that. People don't like isolation and things like that. But that's where God does his best work.
He does his best work. When you are by yourself and there is no one there. And a lot of the times he removing the people so that he can get you by yourself. If you notice, when people do finally, I've started following God, they were at their lowest point. And before they even got there, he was calling them. You just wasn't listening.
He'd be like, you hear me knocking, let me in. But you ever notice something, speaking on that, you ever notice how, say you're going through a situation and you're trying to call 1,000,000 people, okay?
For the answer.
Yes, and you can't get nobody, right? The second you take a minute to talk to God, all of a sudden,
the calls come back.
Everybody gets a call. You ever
Hey, look, I went through that before. I felt like I did my due diligence in helping people, right? And I said, God, look, I'm done, because these people, they don't even want to listen no more, blah, blah, blah.
I know that feeling.
And then my literally, like, it just, my phone just stopped ringing. I went 3 days with nobody calling me, right? And I felt like, I said, okay, God, I get it. I need to get back in the game. Put me back in the game, coach. And my phone rang like 45 seconds later. Like, hey, Doc, man, I need you to do this for me. Bet. You know what I mean? And it's crazy how if God like, okay, you want to give up on what I gave you? I'm gonna show you how that works. And then you start feeling lonely.
Yeah, well, even when you do give up, because I didn't quit acting 15 times. I just quit this morning. I literally quit all the time with this. I'm like, I am done with media. I don't want to do nothing else.
Right. So
somebody will call you.
Yeah. Remember when I told Tika that though, Miles, about? She was like, this is ministry. You do this and you talk so polished and this. I said, I got to give all that to God. But she was like, Kandis, I quit every day. And I said, that's good, because you get to start again every day.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? You get to become anew every day. You see what I'm saying?
Dang, so you mean I can't quit?
Nope. Yeah.
You can't.
Well, I think
I can't quit. You just almost what you got to start doing.
But I think I told you that before. You can never quit on what God gave you.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, we did tell me that, but I don't. It's not necessarily. I just say quit it because it's funny, but really, it's just me just taking a step back so I can redirect.
You got to. You
That's
have
really
to.
what it is.
You have to.
I was at church the other day, and this pastor said something that really hit. And it's like when you're thinking about quitting on what it is that you want to do or stopping what it is that you want to do, he was like, God, it's almost it's a sin to not do what God gave you. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Because it's just like how Drake says that double metaphor. He was like, I told my story and made his story. You see what I'm saying? So you're making history, but you're also helping somebody else. And so it's like it's like the person when he gave the talents to the people.
He called the one wicked who didn't do nothing with it.
The one that put it in
the ground,
and
yeah.
took it away. And I heard that, and I was like, God, please don't take it.
Can you talking to the mic, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. But yeah,
I think she's just low.
No, yeah, but you're not talk.
What about now?
There we go.
Speaking to the mic.
I'm with that one. So
ain't no Jill stuff going on over here, okay?
Shout out to Jill Scott. Jill Scott is probably one of the most profound performers I've seen in a mighty long time. I was telling Chanie this, and I
She's
told my
very
friend.
vulnerable on stage.
My friend, he got shot. He got shot like 8 times, right?
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive, and he be limping and hurting and stuff. Because I said it won't stop until you tell your story.
That's real.
And same thing I tell Chanie, until the things that you go through in life, if you don't tell it and give testimony, and not just your testimony.
Like God wrestling with Jacob out there, touch that hip.
What happened is that's part of your healing process.
That's how you heal.
Telly. Sound familiar, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's how you heal.
And then, so what he did, he started talking about it, right? So he called me and said, bro, one of the bullets came to the surface. I'm going to get it removed next week.
Look at that.
See?
And I told him, he said, I know. You told me this. He said, but it's hard. I said, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
But
So you don't believe in miracles?
that's not a miracle. That's just the healing process.
That I agree with that. I wholeheartedly.
I
mean, because I know we had this conversation. And you said you don't believe in miracles.
No, I don't believe in miracles, like hypothetically speaking, right? I know somebody who got shot 15 times. Somebody, it's a miracle they lived, right? No, he needs to be a testament on who God is.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
I agree.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because the healing process never comes, it has to come from a good place.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have a friend named Nate. He just believed, no, that's just science.
Yeah.
And I get it.
I know people
to
like
a
that.
certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Yeah.
And I get it. So, but I know somebody who got shot in the shoulder and died.
It's interesting that he believes that it's science, right? Because it's because the experiment with the rice.
Right.
Just even your words and talking to something every day, it's killing plants or it's making it live. Even with plants. Definitely. Like if you say something to a plant negatively, it's going to die. If you say something positively, it's going to live. So everything has ears.
Or say it to a plant negatively. Negative.
Yeah, so that's why I find it interesting because our body works the same way. It's the same with our organs and how we talk to them and what we're doing
I talk
with
to
our
everything
organs.
like that. Even my car. You know how you be like, why you acting? Even if you know it's acting crazy, like, every day I come out and greet my car very profoundly. And I'm like, hey, Ella. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, I mean, think about it, right? Even if it's a hoopty. Hoopty is somebody out here that don't even have a car.
Yeah,
I greet
real.
Ella
That's
every
real.
day. Like, what's up, Ella? How you doing, girl? What we doing today? Where I get in there and I realize, like, I'm about to start up. I ain't even.
I've treated every car I've had, whether it was a nice car or not, like it was a Bentley.
That's me.
Like every car, because there's people out here. I know people to this day, 40 and up. Hey, can I get a ride? Why don't you have a car, sir?
They looking for a ride.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's the beauty.
Okay.
That's the beauty of it, though.
No,
that's the beauty.
Thank you.
That's the beauty of it, though. Like
Right.
you get a chance to see that everybody don't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a moment where I didn't have a car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I hated asking somebody for a ride or getting a ride or whatever. And when I got to that point where I got my car and I was like, okay, I'm about to help other people out while I got I was doing Uber and Lyft before Uber and Lyft was a thing.
Right.
Because that's how I had to make money.
That's what's up.
So,
but guess what? That's fucking smart.
Yeah.
And most people don't get it because wherever I have a theory where there's a will, there's a miles. Because I hate when people say, man, I said, man, it's, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was riding Uber until I felt like I had to wait on Uber.
Yeah.
I was like, so they act like Negroes. You know, I'll be there 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Switch, another 18 minutes. No, I'm not doing that.
Right.
And I just like, let me just go ahead and buy me a car. I mean, I probably bought 8 cars in my life.
Okay.
Right? But I'm like, my next car has to be one of those cars where I just feel comfortable, and I don't plan to stay the size forever.
What kind of car are you looking for? Something for sale.
Brittany, we'll talk about that on later.
I'm like, what are you selling?
You want a truck?
Huh?
You want a truck? It seems like you'd be comfortable in
You
a
want a truck?
Not, a truck or SUV. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know what I mean?
How much you willing to spend?
We told Brittany.
A big body.
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about something else.
Okay, we ain't talking about sell your soul right on live.
Oh, no. I
Anyway,
will never have you sell your soul. It ain't yours to sell.
I know, that's
Oh.
right. So the American dream, what it looks like for me, is definitely not of American. It's just to make sure that I like to work with people who love themselves.
Yes.
And if
How do you determine that?
by how they talk, you know what I mean? Like if they have white friends, or if they know their heritage by twisting their hair, you know what I mean? Or being a man and going through Ramadan with his wife because it made a part of his lifestyle. Or a young lady who wear natural hair. I like people who love themselves, because everybody that's sitting at this table, no matter how long I've known you, y'all all made a particular change.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And if you're willing to change, you're coachable. If you're coachable, we can go far.
Absolutely.
That's all.
I'm with you about.
He wants you to be coachable.
Yeah, that's all I tell people.
And I'm with you with working with people that love themselves. I was just having a discussion with my boy, and we were talking about how so many people are out here with low self-esteem, insecure, and all of that. He said it's because they haven't accomplished anything.
Yeah.
He said until you get up and accomplish something, you're never going to have confidence. You're never going to feel good about yourself. You're never going to love yourself. Start making things happen, and you the rest is going to flow.
But I would say for the right reasons, right?
Yeah.
Because
for sure.
it goes back to what you always say, what Will Smith always says when he asks people, like, where did you get, who are you?
Yeah.
Meaning, because, some people do it because somebody said I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, now you've been accomplishing all these wonderful things, and yet you're still empty.
Yeah.
And is there still a void because somebody
else.
Because somebody said you can't. But Deion Sanders said something the other day when he was like, I don't care about nobody have to say about me. He said, everything I do is with purpose, and it's on purpose, and it's intentional.
Yes.
So he said, if people talking about me, I don't care, because he said your opinions of me does not shape who God has called me to be.
Yeah.
So he said, wherever I am, he said, wherever I am, if you see me there, I'm on purpose.
Exactly.
And he said it's intentional. And then he has this thing that he always says, if you look good, you feel good, you feel good, you play good, you play good, they pay good, they pay good, you live good. He always says that, and I had to kind of stole that from him.
So a couple of things, right? So the intentional thing, or like if you see me somewhere, I'm there on purpose. Like when I did the routes, I never had to be there. You see what I'm saying? Like I even told them, I said, I'm here for a reason, but I was there because I'm working on building my courier business. And for me, I always feel like as an owner or a manager, whoever else, you need to work just as hard as the people that's under you, if not harder. Actually, really harder, honestly, right? Yeah. And so for me, I had to go and put feet on the ground. So my mom, she only sees me delivering packages. She don't see the dream of me saying, hey, I'm about to start this courier business for young boys and young girls. You see what I'm saying? To make money where we ain't got to do McDonald's. You can go there to get the structure of what it's like to work with somebody, but this is what I want you to be able to do, because this is a very untapped market. But transportation and delivery and things like that, it ain't going nowhere.
No,
you see what I'm saying?
It's not.
And so she only sees a piece of the dream. You see what I'm saying? So if you only see a piece of it, and that's your opinion right now, I can't tell you about the rest of it. I just got to go do it. You see what I'm saying?
It all depends on what. So here's what I want to do. I don't want to get with no financial advisor. I want to get with a financial expert.
Yes.
And I tell people this. I had the third ride share company in America, right? It was Uber, Lyft, and it was us. Okay, it's called Tap. I say if you're feeling Uberific and you need to live home and you need a lift, tap your way home. So when I did that, the week we launched, there was a class action lawsuit on Uber and Uber-like companies. It was a national law firm who said, "Listen, you can retain us, but it's going to cost you $75,000, and or you need to shut down until this thing is fixed up."
You shut down until you got fixed.
I shut down.
You probably went in your area. In your area.
It went right.
Your area.
And so the person who partnered up with me, I felt bad because they put up 80% of the finances, but I did 100% of the work, right? And they were looking at me like, but what are we gonna do? I said, we don't got $75,000. This is a class action lawsuit the Yellow Cab company put on. I'm coming for your ass, and that's what they
shoot program. Pelican back.
Yeah. So when we shut down, I felt bad because again, research, right?
Yep.
I did not research the basis on why you would even do what rideshare was based off of. See, for every business you build, some business got to die.
Absolutely.
You said for every
business you build, some business has to die.
Absolutely.
And if you a punk bitch, you just gonna die. If not, you gonna fight. And that's what Yellow Cab Company did.
It's evolution. It's evolution.
Yeah.
Like, we had this discussion on Pod Talk. We was talking about how it came from the record players to the tapes, from the tapes to the CDs. Now we on our phones with music. It has to happen. Digital. It has to happen.
Right. And
well, you have to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Because rain is coming.
I like how you did that, Chanie. Go ahead.
Rain is coming.
Yeah,
and it's how you prepare when the rain is coming. Are you sewing something?
Yeah.
Are you sitting? Like, what are you doing? Ooh, that's confirmation for me. I'm sorry.
So I'm glad you said that because
prepare.
3 weeks ago they were talking about, Miles, how you know it's gonna snow? I said because it's raining. We still in winter.
Yeah.
If it's raining,
it's gonna snow.
It's gotta snow.
The rain is coming.
Right, there you go.
Get prepared.
My God.
Yeah.
And I think preparation is more important.
Y'all was laughing at Noah.
Yeah,
baby.
But y'all wasn't laughing when that rain came.
but
was it a rain or was it a flood?
I learned one of my greatest lessons from the movie Noah, right? Because he was a person. There was a dictator whipping people to build stuff, right? Telling, come on. Noah's sons and all that stuff was building, right? And he was directing, but when they got weak and the plank, that big wooden plank fell, he ran right up in front and picked it up himself with his people and started building with them.
You know what
I mean? And I learned that you don't have to be a dictator to be a leader.
No,
that's the day I learned leadership, just by watching that movie. And that's the day I understood leadership.
Okay.
Because a dictator sit back and just tell people what to do
instead of getting their hands dirty.
Instead of getting their hands
dirty, I'm gonna show you how to do it.
Yeah,
that's a real leader to me. I'm gonna show you how to do it because I don't want you to fail.
Exactly.
And so let me teach you. I'm gonna show you a couple times, and then I want you to do it yourself.
And then that's what I think is wrong with most people in business and in our great Martin.
I'm gonna say life.
In our great Martin Luther Kings and Malcolm X's, because people knew things about them, right? And they held it against them when change came. You feel me? And when change comes, there's nothing wrong with change. No matter what he did or X did, they done it, but it's past and they moving forward, right? So the growth came in. So now their leadership is standing up. You know what I mean? And so people don't understand. Well, but I remember when he did this. I tell people, never mind what I used to do.
Who am I now?
It's like they say all the time. People want to hold you in a place and space that you've moved from. I don't live there no more.
I'm so sick of it.
I did what I did with the information that I had at that point. I have now moved on. I have now grew. I'm no longer there anymore. Right. You can't judge me based on that.
And you can't hold me there. People want to take you there and hold you.
I've realized that a lot of people have not grown up, and that's why they keep trying to bring you back to where you may or may not have hurt them.
Remember what we used to do? I'm so tired of remembering what we used to do.
I just said today on the video, I was like, look, if you still sitting up here trying to hold somebody accountable for something that happened 20 years ago, go get some help. Yeah. Because guess what? I'm guarantee you that person has grown since then. And if you don't see the growth, it's because you ain't grow.
There you go.
Simple.
And I would say ignorant is bliss. Some people just want to be ignorant. That's the honest to God
I want to
truth.
swing back to the coaching thing because, like you said, Miles, a lot of things, like a lot of places and businesses, people don't want to be coached. Like whenever I go somewhere with another photographer or like a videographer, I'll come in and I'm like, all right, teach me, and they're like, well, you probably know. No, I don't know nothing. Teach me like it's day one. I know nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because I feel like you can learn from everybody. You know what I mean? Even if we do the same thing, you know what I mean? Don't teach me. Well, I'm pretty sure you know about. I don't know nothing. As if I'm a fresh person. You never know what somebody knows or don't know. You know what I mean? Think about Drumline, right? That brother couldn't read music. He just was able to hear really great and produce off of that, right? So you may assume I know, like, you never know. I might be tricking myself, and every time I come up with a great product, you see what I'm saying? No, teach me like it's day one.
Speaking of Drumline, I'm glad you brought that up. Even though he didn't know how to read, he was forced to, and then he was willing to learn because he started understanding the significance of him knowing how to read.
Because it was more power.
It was more power.
It was more power. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he got out of the way.
Most
right?
definitely.
So he was in his own selfish realm, right? And that's what I said earlier. When you learn to align, then that's when things start to flow. And once he got out of his own way, then he was able to be
and able to motivate other people, because you got to think the girlfriend. His girlfriend stopped being a sociology major, and she changed into dance. See what I'm saying?
She wanted to do.
Story, so his
a
story.
lot of black folks' problem is that they don't know how to turn that hood stuff on and off. Like in that movie Drumline specifically, Nick Cannon was trying to stay hood until he couldn't no more. He was forced to adapt, and that be a lot of black folks' problem. They don't want to adapt. They want to stick to the hood. For what? Ain't nothing but death and drugs. You know what I'm saying? And it, don't get me wrong, it is good stuff that's going on out there, but for the most part, it's all negative related. You're not going to be able to grow if you still stuck in the hood.
So I had
real quick, Miles, I'm so sorry. I think people feel like they got to leave it behind, and I think they feel like that has to be the only story they tell, and that can just be a part of your story that you tell. You know what I mean?
I think some of that has to do with the Uncle Tom syndrome. Right? Because when blacks wanted to do better, or you being an Uncle Tom, or you want to follow behind them white people.
But white Bush
but what I'm saying, I think that's where that mentality comes from. Because as you want to better yourself, that instantly is coming like, oh, you think you're better. Oh, you forgot you came from this. So it's like, I want better.
Nobody is on this earth. Nobody stays on this earth and lives this long to stay the same. That's crazy.
He said that's
crazy.
I think he was like, it's crazy. I think I done put in all this work and all this time to stay the same. You know what I'm saying?
Lil Wayne say anything?
No, he didn't.
Lil Wayne, you know what? He was always asleep. Anyway, so
he didn't say anything.
So great. See, so great.
No, I was saying that, but when people say Uncle Tom syndrome, right?
I made that one.
No. People do it. You Uncle Tom. But if they read the damn book, Uncle Tom, they'll find out Uncle Tom was a beast. You feel me? Uncle Tom wasn't a sellout. Uncle Tom was teaching. He just looked at the little white boy as a human being.
Yeah.
You feel me? And so this is what if we get rid of folklore, Negro folklore.
Because if we start making everything about race,
right?
Because honestly, black people are where they are because white people had to help us. I mean, I don't really care if y'all don't want to believe that. That's the case. They were helping during the civil rights. They was helping doing things. They was helping y'all learn how to read. They were helping. So if we learn how to get color out of the doggone equation, and start looking at people, some people are human beings.
Color plus common sense.
Yes.
If we add those two together, we'll win.
Because I'm not gonna negate, like, there's some people out there. They some real racist people.
Absolutely,
we know that. But I feel like black people just as racist.
No, we're not racist.
To our own people.
We prejudice.
What's the difference? Call it prejudice.
Because racists make change. We haven't made shit change. We don't control nothing. Racists control things.
Okay. But we are worse to our own people.
Yeah, we are.
And some of the kindness be fake.
Some of the most negative things I've ever heard came from my own people.
Came from my own
family. So,
and the race. Let's get this right.
My own people.
Let's get this right. Caucasians are worse too. I mean, in the same boat because we learn from them, right?
Yeah.
And it's more of them than us. So it looked like they. If you sit out here,
which Caucasian you talking about?
All of them.
Well, two different types of Caucasians, just like it's two different types of black.
Yeah.
So which Caucasian we talking about?
It's three different Caucasians.
Which one we talking about?
You got your rednecks.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. And you got your racist rednecks, right? And then you got your average Caucasian who just live their life.
Yeah.
You feel
the average Caucasian they probably ain't worried about you.
No, the average Caucasian, they don't see color in most cases.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, like, let's clear it up. Which Caucasian we talking about? Because the rednecks, And them the ones that's worried about the
redneck racist is the dumbest. Because how you gonna be racist and broke?
Right, exactly.
That's why they voted for your man.
I said that before about somebody that was gay. They was trying to argue with me. How you gay and broke? If you tasting the rainbow, you should be seeing some money.
The correlation.
I get you.
What is the correlation?
Because every gay person I know normally they have money.
Yeah,
see what I'm saying?
They doing something with money.
Hold on, it was a show. Des Cortez had a show, and he had 3 people. He had 3 hosts, and one of them was a gay black man, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm engineering. I'm watching. I could see the sickness in his eyes when he was telling this story. He said, "Now y'all know I'm gay, of course. I'm in a gay club, and I push up on this white boy, and he pushed me away and say, 'Move, nigga.'" He said, so I had to grab the microphone. I said, "So you mean to tell me not only that you gay, but you mean racist shit,
right?
You know what I mean?
But
in the gay club,
that's all over. So
no, it's not all over.
It is.
No, it's not.
Racism you can see everywhere.
Racism is everywhere. I apologize.
So even though he just a particular.
But listen, how you gonna be gay?
He probably really was liking him. He just didn't want nobody to know.
Right. But how he's gonna be gay? How you gonna sense? Listen, it's just like a black person. I'm black, right? She's 4 shades lighter than me, right? And then she gonna sit up here like, I don't mess with niggas.
I don't.
But she don't though.
But you have the same problem as the next black girl who's darker than you when you walking into corporate America.
How can you say that though?
I don't.
Because that happens. I ain't talking about niggas. I'm talking about black people, Brittany. Let's be clear.
Black. You said niggas. There's a difference.
No matter what.
Now, if you say black, okay, we got the same problem. So I can't say that.
Others look at us as all the N-word.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they do not.
They do.
I mean,
Miles, how you gonna tell me?
I don't look, man.
No, they don't.
White people don't view me like they view everybody else.
No, I'm talking about that because they personally get to know you off of sight. I'm just talking about strictly off of sight. They all look at us the same.
I'm gonna be honest, because where I'm at,
okay, I ain't talking about where you at.
They don't even
Brittany,
see me.
Brittany, I ain't talking about where you at. I'm not talking about where you at. I'm speaking of in life.
If you really pay attention, like honestly, as a black person, if you really pay attention and go places, white people really not checking for you like that.
And it goes down to how you carry yourself.
It's how you.
It goes down to how you carry yourself. If you in a restaurant with a do-rag, of course you about to get looked at like a typical.
But we gonna look at somebody like that. If somebody walk in our place like that, we looking at them like. But even for me, if I see a white boy that come in looking like a certain way, I'm instantly looking at him like that.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't care.
Well, I'll give you a better example. There's 3 people was in the coffee shop the other day, and they was talking about how they were treated as vendors, and they're the only black vendor. Yes, the white people, the Caucasians will walk past their table. I mean, look at their table, but never buy things. And on the other side of the hallway, everybody buying the same item at multitudes, right? And I've learned this and I learned this to be true. When I had my coffee shop on Kirkwood Van Dyke, the minute they said, "Who's the barista here?" The motherfucker making the coffee.
Barista.
Yeah, the barista. And like, who the brostier?
Okay, that's what I would have said.
Imagine somebody making that mistake.
But
I'm just helping.
I seen the difference. Who from me making their coffee and Nate. If Nate say me, they be like, okay,
because he's lighter.
And I swear to God, now this is in Detroit. This is in Detroit.
And I just said were they white?
Huh? Yes.
Oh, Van Dyke and Kirkwood?
Yeah.
This was a while ago.
No, it's even more nice in Indian Village. So there's a lot of white folks in Indian Village.
Rhea said we not niggas.
Colorful people over there.
Rhea, niggas is not a color; it's more of a behavior.
And that's
the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Because you got white ones, you got black ones, you got Indians, you got Chinese.
White folks was the first niggas.
Anybody could be a nigga, Rhea. Anybody could be a nigga.
But don't say it to me.
Right.
If you ain't black, you better not call me one.
Oh, but see that right there, just that right there makes me understand furthermore. You know what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah. Don't call me one. I know I'm not one though, but don't you call me one. So,
but what I'm saying is a lot of that is conditioning.
Yeah,
right. Because a lot, like I said, sometimes they not even really checking for us, and sometimes we're not even checking for them. And I'm gonna be honest, because I remember I was at the hospital, and I was just sitting down, people watching, and I was watching how like white girls really don't be looking at the black girls like that, and the black girls really don't be looking at the white girls like we look at other black girls, and they look at other white girls, and it was just interesting because I was just watching people, and it's like they see you, but then they don't really see you, and it's the same for us. Like we see you, but we really don't see you.
I'm not gonna lie. When I see them, I swear to God, it's just in my blood. In my blood, I sense that they see hate all the time. And it's just natural.
You said you think that you sense that they see hate?
I see hate. Excuse me.
Oh, okay.
I have a particular core dislike.
Okay.
And that's because of your experience.
That's because of my experience. Mm-hmm. That's because of history. Mm-hmm. It's like anytime you can watch a Facebook scroll, looking at scrolling, and you see all these people who none of us never heard of. Mm-hmm. And it was deliberately hidden. It's like it's a lot of greatness around us 100% of the day. Yeah. Right? And we don't benefit from it. Mm-hmm. I never met a black elevator repair company. I never in my life met a carpet treadmill, a carpet mill. I never met none of these people from the greatness of us. Mm-hmm. And when I see,
you have to get outside more.
I mean, shut up. You ain't never met no carpet miller. No, a carpet miller, a person who actually makes the carpet.
Just the cleaner.
Hey, hold on. What you say?
Just the cleaner.
Exactly.
I haven't seen anybody make the coffins either. Where are the coffins made? Where are the coffins made, people? Somebody tell me.
This started with something that we did.
I'm so interested because I said, where do they sell the coffins?
I never thought about it.
I always wanted to know. Like,
it was a place on sell.
You mean sell them or make them?
Where do they make them? Where do they sell them? Like,
some people be custom.
When you go to the funeral home,
they be custom.
Where are the coffins coming from?
No, but there was a place on 7 Mile Evergreen. It was called Detroit Coffin Place.
Okay.
Right?
I'm just interested.
And then they shut down because guess what? Once we start thinking that our shit came off of 7 Mile, dog, we stopped going. And they were supplying 50% of the funeral homes.
But I'm upset with the funeral homes.
But it's the difference.
Let me tell you why I'm upset with these funeral homes. Because y'all ain't did nothing to the building.
I think they're a damn lie.
Now that's the truth.
Now let me say this though. Did you all know that you can get coffins off of Sam's Club?
Yeah.
Really?
And for the yes, my uncle had
membership card.
My uncle passed 3 years ago, and we were just trying to see something for him, and they had some dog coffins. Yes, a coffin.
See, I want to know. I want to know.
And they like anywhere between $250 to $400 cheaper than funeral.
Oh no, it's a couple of them up in there $1,000.
How much is
it was really nice.
Where they sending it to?
I mean, the funeral home. To the funeral. You send it to my house. You send it to my house. No, ma'am.
So they can get the
real nice coffins.
Yeah, they be having the little
This is why I like children, right? Because children get to use their imagination, and they ask questions, and you be like, I didn't think about that.
I didn't,
because they want to know.
And they're taking that from the kids now with these iPads and these little tablets. We're not letting our kids have that imagination so that they can dream and see outside.
And guess what? You know what?
I want to know what kid that is, because my baby be whining me to death. Mommy, what about this? Mommy, how about this? You know what? I got an idea. I'm like, what's that? And it's usually a bargain. Let me just say something. My daughter is 8, and this girl she's had negotiation skills since she was 6. Do you hear me?
Sounds like a lawyer to me.
Yeah, okay. And a couple of other things. Hey, mommy, listen. So I was just thinking, if I went ahead and did my homework, can I stay up and watch 3 more minutes of TV and maybe have 1 gummy? Like,
I like that though. That's realistic,
ma'am.
And it's tangible.
Her dad, he's like, how does she get like that? I was like, you got to think how many business deals we've done in front of her. You know what I'm saying?
I had this conversation with someone, and I was like, another thing, black people don't take their kids with them to learn anything.
I definitely just did 2 reels about that the other day.
I got into it heavy with this person. Oh my goodness. But they were like, why? They don't need to go with me to the bank.
Yes, they
don't
do.
Need to I said,
but they
my
do.
how do you
reel.
think your baby is going to learn different things like about something so simple as picking fruit? I take my niece with me to the fruit market and teach her how to pick certain things.
My second to last reel was literally just about, I said, how do they know what it's like to have a team? How do they know what it's like to do everything yourself and then get a team? You see what I'm saying?
I learned how to do things because I was with my parents.
Yes.
Like, I didn't want to be there. I was learning how to get things and how credit works or how this works.
Didn't know it.
I had no idea what was going on. I was bored out of my mind. But they were teaching me along the way.
And even if you weren't paying attention, subconsciously you were still seeing and hearing. You know what I'm saying?
So that's why I started knowing things and learning things. And then I would come and ask questions. And it's like, oh, well, let me show you how to do this. Or let me show you what this does. And it's like, oh, so people like, well, how you know so much?
You want to hear something crazy?
With my people.
That same dream that I said my father didn't believe in. I had to ask him. I said, Dad, you all taught me what it was like to work a 9 to 5 and then to do a business afterward. I was doing it with you all. Like when my mom didn't want to work anymore, my father was like, okay, cool, quit. He said, quit. Went opened her a boutique and a salon, and I worked in there. I was a shampoo girl. You see what I'm saying? I laid out the nails.
Shout out to your dad.
We went to Chicago to pick the outfits. We drove to New York. Like I literally was hands in. So it's crazy to me now when it's like, so I was 10 toes down in you all's dream, and then you denied me of mine. Ain't that deep?
Hold on. Hold on. I'm just going to ask you this, and I tell people we have to think about the perseverance that our parents was trying to give us, right? The salvation of having, the ability to have a job, right, and work for somebody is assurance. Is assurance.
It's
assurance, right?
Yeah.
Now, being an entrepreneur, everybody don't have the guts to do that shit.
No, they don't.
Right?
No,
because it's
ghetto. It's ghetto.
Hold on. So what I was saying
Takes
this,
a little bit.
I learned this from my mentor. He said, Miles, because I came to him one day because I was like, Pops, this ain't working for me. The internet changing, Facebook. Now people not ordering 5,000 flyers. You know what I mean? They don't need tickets no more. They got ticket online stuff. You know what I mean? He said, so you either grab a shovel because shit is about to get thick and tighten up your boots, right? And I was
said
like,
just like that.
Because and he don't cuss. So he said and you have to have direction and focus on when you're doing it because when you shoveling shit, other shit it comes right back down, right? So he said you have to have focus and you have to do it quickly, right? And what he made sense to me was when he said, if you want to quit, that's on you. He said, but his wife one day he had got ripped off by somebody who ordered over $300,000 worth of stuff, and he got ripped off. They can't find the people, nothing. And he said, I might have to close my business. And then he was like, my wife, and he said, because we were about to have a meeting, so I had to come back. He said, man, my wife just gave me the biggest gift in the world. And he said, what's that? He said, a sense of confidence and love and support. She said, you ain't gonna close your business. How much we got in our savings?
Oh, Mary had a little lamb.
No.
A couple of sheep.
No, she said, how much we got in our savings? He said it was X amount. She said, use that and forget about what just happened.
With the business.
And he kept his business going. And
Shout out to Amazing Spouses.
Most definitely. And he said, but he wound up making over $3.5 to $4 million a year after that.
That's fire.
Sometimes you have, but again, having a team, a good spouse,
yes, it matters.
But their communication skills is excellent. So
you gotta talk.
She understood the mission.
Yep, and
you know what I mean.
For sure.
And so I'm going to say that you cannot, if you're an entrepreneur, you gotta have the stomach for it, and you have to focus on what you're doing. You can't serve two masters.
Yep.
No, you can't.
You'll love one and you'll hate the other.
And that's what happens. So that's what that told me. It told me you can't serve two masters. Either you give what God gave you, or you just got to settle for what's coming.
Rhea said her American dream is free healthcare.
Yep.
Hey, shout out to Rhea, man. Seriously, or at least discounted something.
No, but that's not a dream for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no,
that's a must.
Seriously.
No, I mean, America owe it to us.
My God.
So what does that look like for everyone?
What?
It's a struggle
free
with
healthcare.
everything.
Like, what does it look like? I just want to know.
It look like they're healthy. Here's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why we got to pay for it because they know we need it because of what they feed us.
Mm-hmm.
Other countries do not have the problems health wise. I mean, look up cancer in Canada. Look up cancer in Switzerland.
You could look up the ingredients. Something so simple from a ketchup here versus in Canada.
Oh yeah, the ingredients totally different.
It's a lady that I follow on Instagram who's actually fighting.
Oh, this and now.
I can't think of her name right now, but she's fighting the food industry.
Yes.
Yep. Because she's like, listen, y'all are poisoning us. Y'all are feeding us poison. So she's been fighting with cereal and all this other, like, cereal is almost the worst thing to eat. Don't even mess with it.
You know, McDonald's actually have a contract with funeral homes.
Oh, that makes sense.
They got a contract with everybody.
No.
That's why I don't know that. Yeah,
this lady sued McDonald's after she kept eating it and won.
Yeah. I mean,
interesting. Wait a minute. She kept eating it. What happened?
She got really
ailments.
big.
Yeah, she got ailments.
Yeah, and then she ended up suing McDonald's and won.
I was gonna say common sense.
Hold on, wait a minute. No, you can't say common sense. But guess what started happening?
Because you have food addiction.
Guess what started happening after that?
What?
If you go into every McDonald's, they have a warning sign.
They have to. It's above the door, and they tell you, and you don't see it because you want it there for your fries.
What is the warning sign?
It's saying that things that's in their food.
It's harmful.
It's harmful.
And y'all still eating McDonald's?
I saw a video.
May cause. Yeah. So what I'm trying to tell
you. And y'all still eating it?
No, you have. But I'm about to ask you about the question. You asked the question on what it looks like. It looks like they don't have to have they're not worried about it. The only reason why they got a big and man's tall shop because there's a big and tall men.
But see, that's what bothered me about that That's what bothered me about that DEI mess, and they want to go to Target. My whole thing is, why y'all not fighting for food?
Exactly.
No, I'm serious.
Exactly.
Like, y'all not fighting for food. Y'all fighting for me. Like, y'all still fighting over this color nonsense. Like,
exactly.
Like,
it's a distraction.
Like, they're really poisoning us when it comes to food, and y'all sitting up here worried about buy this, buy that.
And what's the name of the grocery market again?
And I'm
Like, if y'all really want to boycott, why don't y'all boycott Christmas and Thanksgiving?
Baby. And Halloween.
Or the beauty supply stores.
There you go.
They selling all the foolishness too. Like, boycott stuff that's actually destroying us. Boycott the liquor stores that's killing the people in the corners. Boycott that.
How about this? Have you ever noticed?
That's killing the people in the neighborhood.
Tell you like you going a little too far on my tequila.
No, but that's real though. Yeah.
Go boycott these Chaldean liquor stores.
No. How about boycott the niggas that sell us liquor?
That's I just said that. Just go boycott that type of stuff. Like, y'all sitting up here talking about, like, man, get out my face with that. I'm going to go buy what I want to buy. I'm going to wear what I want to wear. I'm going to get my butt up every single day, and I'm going to go to work. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to find something I love to do and make money off of.
I'm going to show you two things about Chinese people.
And I'm going to work out.
They don't never. I'm going to show you two things about Chinese people. They never advertise.
They don't have to.
They don't have to.
Neither does Mercedes-Benz, neither does Maserati.
Oh, no, listen. No, I'm talking about this. You never saw no Chinese food restaurant advertise.
But I'm going to eat it.
Hold on.
I'm going to be honest, I haven't been eating Chinese food lately.
I
have not been eating Chinese food.
You can't pay me. It makes me sick. It's too much grease.
Just eat it fast.
That grease eating on my stomach.
I'm sorry. Y'all missing the message.
Go ahead.
You never saw a beauty supply advertised.
No. Girl, you ain't seen that beauty supply. What, Sally's? No, and Sally's racist.
No,
they don't like us.
Sally's is not us.
No. If you ever see them
on social media.
No, that's us being stupid watching. That's all that is. So that's not advertising.
Deals?
No, but listen, I'm just trying to explain to you. But the same deals that they show is not deals because the same deal you get when you walk in that bitch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So what I'm trying to show you is that they focus on shit that we know that they know we fall for.
Yeah, absolutely.
And guess what? Yeah. You never saw nobody. I never seen nobody take no Chinese, no food back unless it was the wrong order.
True.
Right.
I never saw nobody
take. Don't tell me not to shop at Target because I'm at Target.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, for anybody who want to take away Target growth spurt or whatever their business, do it across the board.
That's my point. Like,
do it across the board.
If you're gonna be consistent across the board.
Don't be consistent because somebody told you don't shop at Target.
Yeah,
exactly. Come on, I don't want to hear that.
Minister Farrakhan told us this years ago. Stop shopping where your oppressors are.
Yep.
Quit shopping for those who never cared about you. If they're not in your school system, if they're not in your holistic system, if they're not building a hospital for you or caring, people start breaking up urgent cares because urgent cares became a payment center.
Yes.
Urgent cares is going to become the number one payment center by the year 2028.
Well, they don't do nothing, so I don't even know why
they don't do
go
nothing
to
but
them.
send you home and keep you there for 3 hours.
That's why
so they
we
can
don't
charge
do
your insurance.
Don't go, listen, the urgent care
Oh my
is
God, you see my
almost
face?
Scam.
Urgent care
is the worst place.
No, go ahead. No,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
can't go.
it's bad.
But
I don't necessarily believe in urgent care. I would say if you're really having a problem, go to ER.
Yes,
I think I'm at the ER every time.
Yeah,
People
you're gonna be there the
and
same amount of
I
time
don't-
anyway.
They'll
I
keep
don't
you a
believe
shift
in
now.
urgent
They'll keep
care.
you 6 to 8 hours.
And
shift
look,
having that thing.
look,
I don't believe
urgent
in
care
urgent
shit.
cares.
Urgent care say shit like this. You sick?
No, I knew that before I got here.
I believe in prevention.
Yeah.
I do think that you should get your physical once a year, but I do believe in prevention, and that is, basically being as healthy as you possibly can be.
Shout out to Dr. Carla.
We live in America. Obviously, they poison our food, so try to eat as less poison as you possibly can.
There you go.
I'm huge on fasting. I tell people that all the time. Fasting is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Your body can naturally heal itself and does what it needs to do. If
A 3-day fast. People don't realize how powerful a 3-day fast. I did a 3-day liquid fast. Like
was it just
before.
water?
It was all liquid, so it was that, and I did watermelon and cucumber.
I did straight water for 3 days.
And, but
baby.
even with that,
Skin glowing.
like, and when I say like your body will just so I'm in a fast right now. I'm in this joint for 40 days or whatever. No meat, no bread, no dairy, nothing artificial, no preservatives, no carb. Daniel's fast, so I'm in that right now. But even before that, I did this 3-day, liquid fast. And when I say the stuff that your body will accept afterwards, my body was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I'm big on that, and I tell people that.
That's what that damn neurovirus did for me, right?
Yeah.
The chicken that I ordered at Starters, I only had one piece.
And you didn't, because you didn't really eat that food.
And I was full.
Yeah.
Right? I came back.
Because your stomach shrunk.
Man.
Yeah. So what fasting does is it allows your body to get rid of all of the dirty stuff that it doesn't need. It resets so your organs get smaller. Things go back to the original size.
Neuroflu, the neurovirus is the new fasting for me. It's on my ass up.
And fasting also helps with illnesses. So a lot of if you do fast, you're really not gonna get sick because your body knows how to fight and protect. Like with this thing that God created for us is absolutely amazing.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing what your body can do and what your body is. That's why I don't listen to you Asian, always doing it. No.
We all look
That's
good.
not
Let me just
true.
take that. We all look very good for our age. Let me just say.
Let me tell you something.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna lie. Yesterday, looking at
You remember I was 99. He looked great. I'm just playing.
He's actually 102, but you're actually correct.
Looking at Adonis Sims Monday, I said, "Oh yeah, we all right in our life compared to." I seen some of my friends the day before. Yeah, I thought I was older, but these niggas like they 68 and they my age. I'm serious.
It's the younger people that's grayed out.
Having a hard
Well, you
life.
know why? Because these younger people, they're vaping, they smoking, they popping these pills, they drinking, they partying, they doing all this excessive
these
makeup,
young
all this
women.
excessive weave. They doing all this damage to themselves now at an early age. So by the time they get a certain age, baby, they gonna be.
I sat next to a girl that I thought was like 41 the other day. Baby girl was 26. I'm like.
And she got to get to 41. So can you imagine when
you see my eyebrows?
I was like, these new drugs
she
taking is unattractive.
Wow. She got to finish the 20s, then go through the 30s to get to 41.
Have to go through a little bit.
Todd, you just made me realize something. When you talking about music and stuff, I just realized the reason why they want to call black people old school because they don't want the younger people to go back to those words. There's a lot of
they want to keep the division.
There's a lot of division when it comes down to music, and that's why I was telling Chanie, Chanie, you need to go back and listen to some older music.
I agree,
and know what it's about because you just don't listen to the music. Listen to the words. The words are so important. Like that song Marvin Gaye, make me wanna.
I was just about to say, the way they do my life.
And he ain't say the way I do.
Make me wanna holler.
Yeah,
the way they do my
that
life.
shit real, bro.
Yeah. Man,
and
what?
Even Run DMC,
When he
it's
said,
like that, and that's the way. That shit
when
so
he talking
real.
about the money before we see it, they take it. Oh, maybe wanna. We play.
Listen. When I tell you, the reason why they keep us in the dark. And I wish when Jay-Z had the opportunity to talk about older music, but he did say something. He said, "If I was old Blue Eyes himself, would you ask me the same
Don't
question?"
you say it like that. Just say it regularly. Because we don't understand what you just said. Say it regularly.
He was. Barbara Walters said, "Don't you think it's a young guy's sport? I mean, why? I mean, you're 40. I mean,"
and they always want to bring age on us because they age way faster than us.
Yeah, they look shaky.
But listen,
they look their age.
Don't be honest, Todd.
No, but it wasn't because they look old. That's why he asked, if I was old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, would you have asked me the same?
Because what was Frank Sinatra doing? Still on that
86.
stage doing that.
But no, I know white people that got like I got at least 15 years on them, maybe more, and they look like they supposed to be my age. So they age horribly.
Yeah, every time I meet black people and they say something, I mean not black people, white people, they say something, I say, you know what they say, right? What they say?
Black don't crack.
Yeah. And they just laugh and they be like, that is true.
Yep.
That is true. I'm like, they know.
Yeah,
they know.
Like I told you, when one girl asked me something, she's African American. I said black. She was okay. Let's just call a spade a spade.
This guy made this video the other day, and he said, "I'm not black." And he said, "I'm brown." And he did a whole video. He said, "This is black." You see what I'm saying? He's like, "And this is brown." He said, "Since the age you've been this." It was the way he broke it down.
But it was a man like 30 years ago wanted to get us to stop saying black. Right.
I remember.
Well, I think about the colors of the rainbow.
Right. Well, he was looking at it from.
You know, there's black out of it.
No, but I'm saying if you mix all of the colors, you get black, right? And that's how I've always looked at us. We're a little bit of everything. Yeah. That's why we are what we are.
But how he broke it down was how important the color olive is. We are all olive color. Olives, when you look at the shades of the different olives, they go from being lighter to being black.
That is true.
Yeah. So when he broke it down, he said we need to be calling ourselves, the color need to be olive. Yeah. He said, if you notice, the most important, when you look at a dove, have the olive stem, the olive branch in his mouth. Then he broke that shit down, and I was like, I never looked at it like that.
We never do, right? Because we're not reading and researching.
When you look at a black olive, it still got some brown in it.
Well, most definitely.
So, I mean,
Well, listen, I'm brown. I thought I was black.
There you go.
And even, how about this? Even the olive got some red in it, which means that it's some of this side of the hand on there. But the funny thing is, they'll be okay with us admitting that it's a piece of them inside of us, but they don't want to admit that it's a lot of us inside of them.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Especially when you went to college.
Yeah.
Listen.
I mean, every white person, period, has 1% of black in them.
No, not 1%. Not 1%.
It's more than that.
You see that Chinese dude who went on the rant of learning what his lineage was about being Chinese.
You told us about that.
And then he really found out that he is 100% sure that his descendants come from Africa.
Yeah.
He is 100%.
I've seen one of the...
He's probably one of the more.
After him, I saw like some stupid ignorant white people saying, "Oh, I got this percent of black in me, so I can say nigga."
No.
Yeah.
Get your ass
exactly.
That's just the ignorant.
See, that's when you go ahead and take somebody down to the Chattahoochee River in Willacoochee, Georgia, real quick. Stop playing.
Hold on, wait a minute. You said two sexual things in one sentence. Say that one more time.
Absolutely didn't.
What did you say?
She said Chattanooga.
Chattahoochee.
See?
Chattahoochee River down in Willacoochee, Georgia.
See? That's what she said to me.
Have you ever asked Google to say Willacoochee? I'm sorry, it's completely off subject.
Hold on, wait a minute.
When I find out
that's a real place?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Ask Siri.
And when she says
isn't it like in Mississippi?
Here we go, autism.
Is it in Mississippi? Georgia? It's somewhere down south.
Yeah, I think it's actually Georgia.
And so anybody who think I do not be teasing people with autism, I think all of us are autistic in our own
I think
form.
you just by yourself. I really do. I really do.
It's different spectrums.
Hey, yo, we about to get out of here.
He got the whole one by himself.
We about to get out of here. It's going to be a long day today.
I just want everybody to know that tomorrow's 313 Day.
Right.
Absolutely.
And Broad Day is dropping tomorrow on TV, and then shortly on that it will be on
spell TV for us.
TVEI TV.
And it's an app that you can download.
App. You can download the app in your Apple Store or whatever that Android
Fire
thing is.
Stick.
You can download it anywhere. And TVEI, it is dropping tomorrow. Broad Day, 313 Day.
Shout out to the new Apple laptops that just dropped out too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta get one.
Yeah.
I gotta get one. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I just had to put that out there, and we do have a trailer.
Yes, we do.
Oh, you have a trailer?
We do have a
Let's
trailer.
go out
Well,
with
we got my portion of it.
Okay, well, let's go.
And you got the other portion. I sent you 2
I was
portions
saying,
of
but
it.
that's the next
Yeah, in other words, you don't have that one. We'll play that one tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's
Okay.
okay. I do got that one.
Shout out to 313 Day.
313 Day is going to be a lot of great things
313
going
Day.
on
I'm gonna be at the
tomorrow.
Pistons game. It's gonna be dicey.
See, they better win too.
I want to. Okay, yeah. What's
They
tomorrow?
lose on 313
Thursday.
Day, man.
Now I want to do
Shit,
tomorrow.
they've been
performing
losing for
there.
18 years on 313 Day. They ain't never won on 313 Day.
Tomorrow's supposed to be dope. I think it's going to be like in the 60s.
Oh,
if
yeah,
I'm
now
not
I wanna do
mistaken.
71.
So it's going to
Let us
71.
pray.
Is it 71?
Let us pray, Lord.
I thought it was going to be like 62.
Hey, look, hey, you know when it get hot, it really get hot
I'm
outside.
excited.
Somebody's like, you don't want to hang outside that? That's
No.
like, no, it's the first day. I was like, it's the first day. I'm going
I
to sit in
gotta-
the house.
I
I'll
gotta-
go back. I'll come out on the third day of it being hot.
I-
pace myself.
Hey, the first
Facts.
warm day it started, there was a big fight. So anyway,
Well, that was the day we were there.
Yeah.
And I got up out that bad boy.
Interesting.
You gotta know when they get up out
It
there.
was a lot going on.
Shanie
guys.
seen the brewing. She
It
said
was
she got
a
out of
lot.
there.
I went out the side door.
Wow.
I know my exit. I
You like
already
me. We gotta
calculated.
find that way.
It
Yeah.
was so much going on.
I
with
even need to know where to
starters.
wait the ship.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
It was too many people just
it was too many
moving
people
and
that was
talking.
moving.
So
I was
it wasn't,
watching.
but it wasn't no fight.
No, it was.
Oh,
I
really?
left,
Okay.
I
She
left
left before
I
that.
left.
Okay.
And she
I always
left.
know when to leave.
I never saw the fights.
Yeah.
All I saw was people voice elevated. I said, okay,
It's
that's
a wrap.
it.
Like it's a
I gotta
wrap.
go.
Listen,
More than likely it was over a girl.
I am the
No,
type of
You know
a
what?
girl
When
swung
the-
first.
When a drink start going,
the girl
you just
started
really
fighting.
have to
Oh,
be
no, it was a
careful.
girl. I think she hit a dude.
Listen,
That's what I said. When the drink start flowing,
I'm the type of
just-
person
yeah.
that reads the room very well.
Yeah.
And I leave 20 minutes before I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I told them, see y'all.
Yeah.
Brittany was out there. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Todd, tell them where they can find you at.
You can find me right here, and right after this, it's
Right
Talks
here.
with Todd.
Right.
Right here, 12:45 today, not 1 o'clock. We're going a little early, and Pod Talk at 5.
Yep.
And 5:30, and also Respectfully Speaking at 7.
Okay.
All day.
Man.
all day
Talks
today.
to Todd. He here all day. He
Yeah.
here all
Baby.
day.
There go the American Dream right there.
Todd was like,
that's
you know
a
what?
vibe.
I feel like we just go home and just go.
I will go remote if I have to.
Yeah, that's what's up.
He here
Candace,
all
where can
day.
they find you at on social media?
You all can find me at Photography by Kandis Page on Instagram or Kandis Page Photography on
Spell
Facebook.
page because people kind of slow.
Yes, it's page without the I, just like turning the page. P-A-G-E.
Okay.
Okay.
That's what's up. Thank you, Chanie, on the ones and twos, bringing us to you
appreciate you.
on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. This was a great show, y'all.
Yes.
Listen, we
The
was
American dream is us.
as these the YNs say, we were in our bag today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that. Mm-hmm.
All right, then, y'all. We are out. Peace.
We in our
Bye, guys.
Bye.
So I'm gonna be like Queen Latifah and these bitches set it off. I ain't risking my life for no $2,000. We got $1 million in the hood. Somebody gonna fuck around and rob that motherfucker. You see a bitch, and smack a bitch.
Rise and grind. Morning show at 9:15 a.m. Monday through Friday. Great conversation, guest appearances. 'Cause